Well, good morning, folks, and Happy New Year from us here at Highland Outbuildings. We did take a couple of weeks just to kind of wind down, spend time with family, and make sure the kids had a good holiday. But it's now early January, very much a winter this year that we didn't see last year. So I thought I'd bring you on over to the factory here and just give you a peek at a new product that we're going to offer for 2025. Nothing groundbreaking here, just a new style of siding that we're gonna propose, maybe of interest to some of you. And we'll go through the different options that we have for whether it's a shed or a bunkie or a cabin or any other kind of outbuilding. So let's hang out for a little while and we'll walk you through it. Cheers. Well, she's cold and windy up here. We're getting a real winter for 2025. This time of year is quiet for us. That doesn't last long though. We do have all of the materials that we need to make things happen, windows in stock, insulation, all the lumber, everything else. But it's quiet and clean in here right now, which is a rarity for us, and it will not last for very long. So just wanted to bring you through here and show you a brand new option for us here at Highland Outbuilding, and that is to add shiplap siding to any of our buildings. So the most common and popular thus far has been board and batten. It's the same pine. This is like a 9-inch thick or 10-inch thick pine board, but this is one side planed rather than rough cut, which you get with the board and batten. And we've had them do a custom profile for us at the mill so that we can have a shiplap feature rather than board and batten. So I think it looks beautiful. It's certainly a different aesthetic from what you would have seen from us before. These come together beautifully, and I think this is going to be a popular option for us. It's going to cost just a little bit more than the board and batten, but not hugely so. Less money than doing the tongue and groove pine, and a fair bit less than doing it in steel. But look how good that looks. I mean, I love this, and if you guys are keen on shiplap, even those of you that are in the build queue, if you want to change to shiplap, we can do that for you. So before, of course, if you give us some notice before we get to go building. So this building is going to sit here close to the factory. We're setting up another little show lot just here on County Road 17, not too far from where we do all the buildings. So this is an 8x20. This is our standard shed package. We did add one window. So the standard shed has one window in it. This has two. So I'll just give you a bit of a walk around here. This is a no permit size building here in Ontario. That's a big shed to not need a permit for. Got a nice dark brown roof on it. And of course the shiplap. So let's go on in here and show you what you get in a standard shed. I'm gonna actually open up this other door here so we can get some more light in the building. I'm tickled with this. I think it turned out really nice. It's always a risk to do anything different than the norm, right? But we're willing to take risks here at Highland Outbuildings. So this wall doesn't have any windows on it at all, and you can certainly choose to put one wherever you like. For the shed, speaking of windows, we put in a really simple aluminum 19x27. This does have a screen in it, and it opens 50%. That's adequate for something like a shed that you're not going to insulate and you're just looking for a little bit of light and maybe a little bit of ventilation. There's no need to go all the way up to a window that costs 3 times as much, that's double paned and high efficiency if it's just for storing your stuff, right? So inside the build, that's what you get for light from a window like that. And they do open. I'll awkwardly do this. So they do open 50%. Fine quality window, it's totally appropriate for a build like this. And with a couple of them, you get enough light through that wall, and you can stick them wherever you want around the envelope of the building. It's very common for us to put a double door at the end of a building like this. So this is, I think, 54 or 60 inch wide door that's big enough to get your lawn tractor through there, your ATV, your snowmobile, whatever through there. I know I mentioned this before. Man, Malin did such a nice job with the shiplap. So we also now got away from doing the regular sort of like cheap steel black painted hardware because it was rusting. These stainless steel ones are much nicer and will last the test of time. That can't rust because it's stainless. Inside a gable roof structure, which we call our Algonquin, you always get an engineered trussing system for us. That's super strong. It's rated for double the Ontario snow load level and a ventilated ridge cap on this build. So there's lots of air that's gonna move through here. You could park a truck on top of this building if you really wanted to. And you'll also notice house wrap around the whole thing. So if you ever decided to finish it to a further level, this is a waterproof barrier. So when you multiply that by a galvanized steel roof, which is the only roof we'll put on a building, we will not do shingles. I believe shingles are disposable and they are kind of cheaping out, right? You're gonna have to replace them, and they also don't travel well. So these roofing panels, they're screwed right into the trusses, right? So they can't come off under transport. We've never had an issue. Maybe we'll bump into a tree branch or something and nick one or bend one a little bit, but they're very resilient and you can just bend them right back into shape. So that's an 8x20 Algonquin. Beautiful looking building with a dark brown roof. I'll sell it to you. These buildings are in the low 7s for a build like this with a fully pressure treated base. So we have a pressure treated 6x6, pressure treated 2x6 floor joists, a tongue and groove plywood floor. And for what it's worth, you got to compare apples to apples when you're looking at buying a storage building like this. I know there's other stuff in the market. Nobody's going as far as we are to get you a quality building. Like, who else is using engineered trusses in a shed? Who else is using a fully pressure treated base with house wrap? Who else is doing a custom shiplap siding? You know, there's lots of particle board sheds out there that may be a little bit less money. I'm not sure they're gonna stand the test of time the same way a Highland outbuilding will. And I certainly don't mean to disparage the competition. I believe there's room for everybody in the market. But when you're looking, if you find we're a little bit more expensive, there's a reason for that. We're using stainless hardware. We're using the finest quality pine. Our mill guy is so good. We're using excellent quality steel. We're using good quality fasteners, and the consistency that you get in one of these buildings is remarkable considering the number of builds the guys do. You know, we're in about a 5,000 square foot manufacturing facility here that's pretty sparse today just because it's like the 1st of January. You know, we're just in the first week of the month. But like, these guys are cranking out amazing builds with really good consistency and beautiful looking buildings too. I love that shiplap. Let me know what you think. If you like the shiplap, I think there's going to be a few more builds done this way. The interior, by the way, of the shiplap is rough cut. So it costs more money for the mill to mill both sides. And in typical fashion for us, we're going to put a house wrap on the inside anyways. So you could totally have a shiplap build that's insulated. You're not going to see the interior of it anyway, so why not have the rough cut portion on the inside and the nice smooth finish on the exterior. This will take stain or paint very well. Pine will soak it right up. And a beautiful space. So we're back at her, guys. It's January. I'm on the road here today. We're going to go talk to some more partners. And we're going to make sure that everything's rolling really well. We just signed a deal and put a deposit in to be at the Toronto Sportsman Show this year. So that's coming up in March. If you want to come and visit with us, we'll take a building like this that will have, you know, we'll stick an ATV in it and maybe a lawnmower or whatever, just to show what the storage buildings look like when they actually have your stuff in it. So that's coming up in March if you want to come and see us in person. We do still have some space left in the build queue for winter. So if you're looking to get a building done for spring, there's not a lot of room left, but there is some. And it's very time sensitive for us, right? So we run into, you know, the spring gets crazy for us. Everybody kind of waits. I would highly recommend, if you're thinking about getting a building done this year, reach out sooner than later so that we can effectively place you in the build queue. The way our business functions, hang on one second. Sorry, I'm rambling on. I think it's worthwhile to flip the camera around here. So the way that our business functions is we take a deposit from you guys. We take 50% of the total value of the project. That includes your taxes and your delivery and everything. So there's no surprises. That buys your space in the queue. So if you want your building for the first week of June or the 3rd week of April or whenever it is, as long as that space is still available, your deposit guarantees that delivery slot. Okay, so we're going to get it to you the day we said we would. My apologies to the 2 customers we had this year that we had to delay just due to a mechanical failure on a machine or whatever, but we're super punctual and we get your building to you when we said we did. Also, the estimate that we send you that gets converted into the invoice that we take the deposit against, that's a guaranteed number too. We don't do overages. If there's anything that happens between the order and the delivery that costs more money, that's me that eats that, not you. So we like to be authentic with everybody and let people know how things work. But we're really looking forward to doing a bunch of builds this year. We got our sights set on being really busy, but also at the same time manufacturing really good quality products. So thanks for watching our video today. We're Highland Outbuildings. You can find us at highlandoutbuildings.com. You can call me anytime. I'm Christian at 705-309-9088. Thanks for watching. Cheers.